But this stuff is not normal stuff for anybody that's not an experienced performer. Like experienced. Not for some 8-year-old doing a rehearsal at a stadium. Hey, what's up? A-Aron here, back for reaction number 58, and I'm super stoked to be back to Angelina Jordan at an early age. In this case, we're going to take a walk down At Last path. And what I mean here is if you look on the screen, we can see a listing of the recordings, and I'll link to this. This is a fantastic database of songs and performances from Angelina Jordan, and I have it sorted by name right now. So you can see all of the At Last. And you can see this goes from age 7 all the way up to 15. Now, I'm only at the moment interested in these at an early age. We're not getting into, and 9 as well, we're not getting into 12 and 15 years old yet at this point, right? And so with this particular reaction, I'm going to be reacting to these rehearsals. I think it's this, and then the sound check. If I'm not mistaken, I have loaded up. And so I've got 3 different ones that we'll be reacting to, and we'll be doing the live performances separately. And so let's talk a little bit about At Last, and specifically Etta James. Now, I love that Etta James is another influence of Angelina Jordan, and she clearly loves this song. This is an iconic song. It's very, very surprising if once you hear it heard, you have not heard the song. I mean, I would be shocked, actually, unless you're like 4 years old yourself or something. It's iconic. And in fact, the song was actually inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And I have this written down in 1999. Right? And so it's been performed by so many people. And, you know, I think it's important if we're going to look at influences of Angelina Jordan, let's look at Etta James and, you know, who she influenced and who she was influenced by, right? And so first, she's influenced Beyonce, Adele, Amy Winehouse, Christina Aguilera, big time. Christina Aguilera's performance of At Last live, one of them I've heard, is incredible. I'll link to that. She is, I mean, it's incredible, her tribute to Etta James. Also, Janis Joplin. We hear plenty of Janis Joplin, or Etta James and Janis Joplin. She was influenced herself by Billie Holiday, Bessie Smith, Louis Jordan, Little Richard, and Aretha Franklin, actually. In fact, Aretha Franklin and her were more contemporaries, and I feel like they influenced each other than necessarily, unidirectional. But nevertheless, it's important to, as we're building up this kind of history of Angelina Jordan, these early influences are what are going to build her character. Again, I haven't heard any of her later stuff, the current and so forth. The latest I've heard is age 13. But I'm certain they cement that background. You can't get rid of it once you've learned and studied from them. And she's just one after another, all of these classic powerhouse women. Not just women, of course. We saw Louis Armstrong and others, but that seems to be the majority of who she's studying here. And it's almost like literally a musical history lesson that you can just go through what she's done to understand how to build up that vocabulary. So without further ado, let's dive into At Last. This first one is from a rehearsal, and let's dig into it. Well, they're all from a rehearsal. Sorry, this first one's at 7 years old, though. And we've seen this room quite a bit. 7 years old. Finds her pitch. Nice. So I'll go back there. So there's a couple points where I'm noticing she has a slight intonation problem. This is one of them. Oh, I didn't go back far enough. Yeah, she mostly handled that. That's really difficult, by the way. She mostly handled it, but it wasn't perfect. Yeah, so I mean, a little bit of intonation at the end as well. So yeah, I mean, her pitch accuracy is like I don't know, 95 percentile. So you know, the fact that she's doing this at age 7, you know, I continue to be blown away. It's obviously incredible, and again, just for those of you that are like, how can you criticize her? It's because of who she is and because of what she becomes, and we're recognizing this growth that I am. Don't be mistaken for 1 second that I'm not blown away and fascinated by what she does. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be doing this. So, yeah, I mean, this room is not the best acoustic room. I don't understand why they continue to do practices. Well, obviously it's in the past, but did continue to do practices here. Maybe they just didn't have a better alternative. But she's dancing around the runs. I'm pretty sure she stayed most closely to the Etta James version of this. I mean, yeah, she sounds great. So one of the reasons that I think she chooses this song is not only Etta James is just a study, but also it's really interesting in terms of the modality of this. It's a major song, but they play with minor quite a bit, right? There's the melody goes into 5-1, which is kind of a normal progression, but then on the major, there's the right at the beginning, you can hear it. So that's onto the 1, the major. The love is actually the minor 3, which makes it sound like minor. And they play with that quite a bit, and you don't hold that. The melody goes right off of it immediately, but there's a lot of this type of stuff. And I don't know if she wanted a challenge at the age of 7, as if just doing this stuff isn't. It would not at all surprise me. My guess is it's more the repertoire and listening to people that she wants to emulate and sound like and build up. But the choice of this song is not only is it iconic, of course, but you know, I think it's interesting because we see mostly from her minor songs, and this is a major song, but it has that minor overtone and minor hints at numerous points throughout the song. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So this is a rehearsal as well. I think these are sequential, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it's around the same time though. I feel like that I feel like that part where she went low was actually better. So I'm guessing this is after. I think she did.
My lonely days are over.
One of the other things that happens here with these two, especially, as she's rehearsing and going through performing multiple times, right? The acoustics of the room, the environment on any given day will change the performance. So it doesn't necessarily have to be sequential to sound better or her to perform better than the last one. Her mood or condition on the day can matter and all of that as well. Yeah, and we're starting to hear variations of songs where you start to get more of that vocal fry, some fall off, some variety in her style. And even though there's this static noise in the background and the acoustics of it are not the greatest, she's coming through perfectly clear. Again, not sure if it's after and she's practiced more or it's just a performance, but I do feel like her intonation is much better here. A little bit of struggle there. So here we see, she's, it's right around that time where she's almost, it's crazy to think that at the age of 7 and 8, over the course of 6 to 12 months or whatever it is, she's almost trying to perfect that vibrato. Like, it's crazy. Just A, that age, and B, the time frame, that duration is so small. But this is, I think, right around that time where she is trying different variations and learning what works for her with that vibrato. And you can hear it's less than perfect here for sure. But the fact, again, that she even tries it is amazing. On my own, I found the truth. Yeah, right there. It's really well done still. A truth that I have never known. Oh, yeah, you smile. You smile. So, since this is a rehearsal, we see her with shoes, and what I love is that she's wearing jeans and a long sleeve, and then you see these almost classy shoes, not like tennis shoes or something. Yeah. Very cool. I guess maybe not that classy, but still the nice and red and so forth. Excellent. So we're already running fairly long, so I'm going to jump right to the next one. And this says in a stadium rehearsal, so this is really cool. Now, I'm quite sure we see some maturity here from the previous one or two rehearsals. Again, it could be that just she's more on, but I do feel like this is a progression. Her tone sounds more full. Acoustics are much better. We hear huge reverb because it's a large stadium, but just it's mic'd up and everything better. In general, it's a better mix. So some of that is at play, but I do feel like there's more maturity here. That was really nice. Yeah, so that's a really hard run, and she gets it almost right there. She's very close. It was better than the previous two I heard. Still not perfect, but much better. So that progression is so awesome to hear. I mean, that's one of the main reasons, actually, I'm going through all these early performances. Yeah, it's like so good. So here I can see that while I still agree that I heard intonation issues on that in the first performance, the first rehearsal, excuse me, it is a deliberate choice to waver on that pitch, but she still hasn't yet fully controlling it well. I think it's slightly better here, but still not with the mastery that I'm sure she's come to be able to do. But this stuff is not normal stuff for anybody that's not an experienced performer, like experienced, not for some 8-year-old doing a rehearsal at a stadium. Oh, there's her mom, Sarah. I gotta listen to that again because she did that whole part so well. You can tell, like she clicked. She got in her element there. Mm-hmm. That was good that time. Much better. Much better. Okay. And so this is just a blessing. And so I'm gonna go ahead and link here or there. I don't know where it'll be. I'm still learning this. But I'm gonna go ahead and link to some live performances that are gonna kind of interweave these performances, and we'll start to build up all these at last. And so in the interim, before it's available, you may not necessarily see it. You might just see a link to all of my Angelina Jordan reactions, and please go check them out. But as I build it up, I'll go ahead and put the next kind of sequence of these at last performances here for you. That said, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so now, and we will see you in the next one. I thank you very much.